gonna have to move so I can do the video. No, don't go back to sleep. Oh no. In case you were wondering how I focus my videos, I use a broom. Very initiative. Ah! Oh my god, masquerade, I'm so sorry. That was like a book avalanche. She's so upset. Oh, I feel so bad. All the books just toppled on top of her. No, don't go buy them again. This is why I'm a dog person. Oh, now she's rubbing on them, so she has a death wish, basically. This is just the video. I have to stop doing snapping finger guns. That's so dumb. This is just the video I needed to film right now because it's one of my New Year's resolutions, but I didn't have like a set list, I guess, of books I needed to read, basically. This video is going to be all of these series that I have to finish, that I have yet to finish, because it really bothers me. So this is going to be any series where the sequel is out and I haven't read it, or the whole series is out and I just haven't finished it, something like that. But especially for series, I have to stop doing that. Especially for a completed series that I have on my shelf that I just haven't read, even though they're right there for me to get. And this is a weird sentence. I just need to go through them, and as I was piling them up, they take up like my whole bed. They also almost killed my cat. So it's gonna be a really fun video. Might as well just jump right in. It wouldn't be a video of mine if the camera didn't fall off the tripod midway through, right? I have no idea where to start with this. Let's just start with whatever's on top of this ginormous pile. And the first series on this ginormous pile is the Chaos Walking Trilogy by Patrick Ness. This is not the first book. I have read 2.5 of these 3 books, and I love it. This is such a great series. It's so easy to fly through, and I really enjoyed it. And I would have finished it if this hadn't happened to the last book. In conclusion, I'm an idiot. In the spring and summer, my favorite thing to do, like it tops the list of just about every other thing to do ever, is reading outside. I read outside more than inside in the spring and summer. I don't know why, it's my favorite thing to do. Except this one time, I left a book outside overnight in the rain, and this is the aftermath. I tried to read it. Maybe I actually can now that it's more dry, but it's moldy and nasty and it doesn't close right. Can you actually see all that mold and mildew? It's nasty. That's the only reason I haven't finished it, and I would have repurchased it, except A, I'm broke, and B, now it's just been so long since I've actually read it that it's turned into the reoccurring theme of I've forgotten absolutely everything about this book, so I'm gonna keep putting it off. I need to find a name that rolls off the tongue better for that, because that's gonna come up in this video a lot. So that is the first series that I have to finish this year. This is all hopefully this year. Definitely not gonna happen, but I want to try to finish all these this year. I hopefully will be finishing this soon because I really want to, and I'm so curious about how it ends, and I love it so much, and I really want to finish it. Yesterday I literally just started another new series because, again, in conclusion, I'm an idiot. Should I say what the series are about? No, I have too many here. A lot of these are more like just nuisances that I don't want to finish, but I feel like I have to. This is not. This is just I love it. Oh no, what fell? The next series I have to finish is one that I'm just not completely caught up on, but I'm gonna finish it. That is the Red Rising Trilogy. Is it a trilogy? I don't know. Oh, it is a trilogy! It says right in the book. I really love these books. I read Red Rising in like 2015, read Golden Sun in 2016, and I want to read Morningstar. It's called Morningstar. I should keep a tally of how often I have to double check myself because I'm always wrong. And I'm planning to read Morningstar this year. I just had to wait for it to come out in paperback because I have these 2 in paperback, and I'm finally staying consistent with buying books in the same shape, form, whatever you want to call it. I definitely recommend Red Rising if you're in for some new crazy sci-fi. It is a lot to take in. It took me a long time to read Golden Sun, like a month or 2, because I would kind of put it down, pick it up, put it down, because it's a lot. It's not an easy read. So I've also kind of been procrastinating reading Morningstar because I know it's also not going to be an easy read and it's going to take me a while. I'm gonna read it though, and I'm excited! I love these characters so much. Severo, who is one of the side characters, is one of my all-time favorite characters ever, so I'll read it just for him if I have to. Next is another series that I love, just have to catch up with it, and that is the Young Elites Trilogy by Marie Lu. Wait, are these trilogies? It just says a Young Elites novel. Is there gonna... No, I think this is the last one. I read these in the beginning of 2016. The Young Elites, I think, or it was The Rose Society, was actually the first book I read in 2016. I initially picked these up because I was in a huge reading slump, as you might be able to tell if you watched my videos about 2016, because it's like all I talked about. And Marie Lu's other trilogy, Legend, is what helped me get out of a reading slump back in like middle school. So I picked this one up in hopes it would do the same thing, and it did for a little while, but it did. This is her fantasy series following Adelina, I believe is her name. Yes, Adelina. It's a really cool cool series, and I'm really excited to read The Midnight Star. I have it here. It's really short, actually. Why is it so short? Again, I do plan on picking this up fairly soon because my dogs are barking. I do plan on picking this up fairly soon because I love this series. I'm really excited to see how it ends, and it's definitely going to be a pretty fast read. It's going to be a heart-wrenching read, I can just tell, but still very excited. I debated whether or not I should put in here series that I don't really plan on finishing, but I think I still should, or maybe I'll give them away. I don't know, but just series I haven't finished that I don't plan on finishing. I don't know if I want to make that its own video, but I'm going to put them in here because it's still a series that I have yet to finish. And one of those series is, can you hear me like messing with them on my lap? The Testing by Joelle Sherman. I read The Testing again back in like middle school, I think. I did enjoy it. Everything's happening. And I did enjoy it enough to pick up the second book, which, let me get it out, which is Independent Study. They're very short, they're very fast to read, they're enjoyable, I liked them. So when the third book came out, which is Upside Down, when I saw Graduation Day randomly in Barnes & Noble because it had come out, I picked it up, but I just never read it. And I read these in middle school, so not only has it been years since I've read them, but my reading tastes have, I keep picking it up upside down. My reading tastes have drastically changed since then. This was when I was really into, and basically everyone was really into dystopian and that whole kind of thing. Really short, fast trilogies you can get through easily. Corrupt governments, you know the drill. I'm kind of over dystopians, to be honest. I don't even know the last time a dystopian came out that I intended to pick up. I haven't even heard the last time a dystopian came out. So that's another reason. I do honestly plan on giving these away. I mean, I did really enjoy them, so if you are looking for a dystopian that's a fast read, that's very easy and just fun, I do recommend these. I don't remember everything about them, but I remember that I liked them for the most part. Next, I have a series that I picked up, God, maybe freshman year of high school? I don't even remember. I was so excited to read these. I picked up the first two books in one trip because I was so certain I would like it, which never really ends up working, does it? Because it sounded right up my alley and it was just, I was so ready to really enjoy these books. I think I only got through like 100 pages of the first book because of my 100-page rule. So many people love the series. One of my friends loves the series, so I actually really do want to pick it up again and try to go into it with a different outlook maybe, I don't know. That is which one's first? The Warrior Heir and the Wizard Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. I love the covers of these too. They're so like cool and kind of minimalistic, but at the same time, I don't know, I really like these. I was so excited to read these and I was so let down, and I feel like I'm the only one who was let down because everyone loves them. But I have the first two books. It's like a really long series. I think there's like a spin-off series. It's like a whole thing and I want to be part of it. I want to read it. So I am going to try to reread it again. I don't remember anything about it, so that's good. Next is a very popular series. The first two were pretty popular too, but this is a very popular series that I don't think is a very unpopular opinion to have not finished it, and that is The Fifth Wave and the Infinite Sea by Ricky Yancey. I don't know why they wanted to make this into a trilogy. It could have been such a cool duology. It would have fit perfectly. They had to stretch it out. Alright. I loved The Fifth Wave so much. I actually kind of want to reread it, except I have so many books to read, I can't. Like, this was, at the time I read it, such a different book. I had never read anything like it. It really opened my eyes to this new world of sci-fi and aliens, because that's initially what turned me off, is aliens. But it's really cool aliens. I have so much love for this first book, but The Infinite Sea has tainted that for me. Whenever I think of The Fifth Wave now, I think of, oh, The Infinite Sea. But no, The Fifth Wave was really good. Just don't look at The Infinite Sea. Pretend it doesn't exist. I think it's called The Morningstar or something. I genuinely don't remember what it's called. It's a red cover. It looks like this. I don't know if I'm gonna read it. I don't know if I plan on reading it or picking it up and spending money on it. I'm so curious, and I have been since reading Fifth Wave so long ago, about how this is gonna tie up and how they're gonna fix this world, because it genuinely seems like there's just no resolution, and I'm so curious about how he ends it. Maybe I'll read the Spark Notes. No, I won't. I'm so afraid the third book is gonna be like The Infinite Sea. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, it's not like The Infinite Sea was a horrible book, but look how short it is, first of all, compared to The Fifth Wave. After The Fifth Wave, everyone had such high expectations for the next book, and it was such a letdown. So we'll see if I end up finishing it. I don't know. Next, I have, does this have a, I don't think it has a series name. Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rush, with the sequel that I have yet to read, Ice Like Fire by Sarah Rush. I read this freshman year? 8th grade? When did this come out, actually? I read it the year it came out. 2014. How old was I? 14? 8th grade? Freshman year? I have no idea. This is a debut novel by Sarah Rosh, and I was so impressed and I really liked it. The thing is, I didn't hear about this coming out. I just randomly saw it in Barnes & Noble and I was like, oh my god, how did I hear about it? And I picked it up, but I think I picked it up really late. Like, I didn't pick it up in 2015, I feel like. Maybe I did. I don't know. But even then, it had been so long since this book that I just wasn't inclined to pick it up, which is the recurring theme of this video. I've tried to pick it up twice. And each time, I just don't remember anything. I don't remember anyone's names or relationships or kingdoms or how people interact and who's the bad guy, who's the good. I just don't remember. I really loved this book and I really want to read this book because I know I'll probably love it again, and so many people do love it. And now there's more books that are out. I don't know if it's one, I don't know if it's multiple, but I really want to finish Ice Like Fire. I stare at it and it guilts me so much that I have yet to read it. Next is another book that I just don't, oops, that struck. Next is another book that I just don't plan on finishing the series for, of whatever the grammar is. Some of my friends did finish the series and they really liked it, but I just made the personal decision not to because I really liked the first book. I liked how it ended. I wanted to keep it at that. That is Unwind by Neil Shusterman. Shusterman. I read this in 7th or 8th grade and I loved it. This is such a good book. I kind of want to reread it. Like, it's such a good book. I'm sure you've heard of Unwind because it's really turned into kind of a big thing, or it was at least. I don't really know about it anymore. I think it's considered a dystopian, maybe a sci-fi-ish. No, I think it's really more dystopian. The reason I didn't want to finish the series is because it follows different characters, and at the time, I really wasn't into that. I had never read a book where the series just followed different characters every book. I wasn't used to it. So that's really why I didn't pick up the rest. Maybe I would have if I had read this today. I don't know. But even still, I did like how this ended. I thought it had a definitive end for the most part, so I kept it at that, and I plan to still keep it at that. I don't feel any guilt for having this on my shelf. Maybe it's just because it's been so long, but... Next is a book that I do have guilt for not finishing. I want to finish it so bad, especially because I follow the author on Twitter. She tweets all the time, and I love her, and I love her as a person, but she always retweets fans who are saying, I can't wait for the last book, and I'm like, oh my god. That's the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I have Glass Sword. I bought it right when it came out, and I was so excited to read it. But the classic case of, I read the first book so long ago, I don't remember anything. Maybe I can actually reread Red Queen. This is just such a gorgeous cover. It's bringing me back. These are such gorgeous covers. I remember when Red Queen came out, it was a huge thing. Like, it swept the whole community. I think I actually did a review on this, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I really did enjoy this book. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 5 stars. And I really did plan on reading Glass Sword, but it just, the time between reading the first book and this just stretched longer and longer and longer until it just got worse and worse and worse and I didn't remember anything. I think I'm gonna have to reread the first book in order to read this book, which I'm fine with because I genuinely don't remember anything from this. Sorry if the video suddenly looks different. I just had to change the frames per second because my camera wouldn't accept my memory card. My memory card wasn't working with my camera. You know the drill. Or maybe you don't. I'm sorry. So that was Red Queen. I don't remember the last thing I said because that was about 30 minutes ago while I was trying to figure out my camera situation. The next series is one that I don't plan on finishing. I read this back in middle school again. I got it as a gift. I got all 3 as a gift actually. So I have the first 2 books and then I have like the 4th or 5th book. I don't have them in order, which is fine because I only read the first 2 books anyway before I just put it down and I just didn't want to read it anymore. I pushed through the first 2 books and I couldn't push through anymore. Which book is the first one? That is the Gone series by Michael Grant. I know this is probably a pretty unpopular opinion. Everyone seems to really love the Gone series, and I feel like I'm the only one who just doesn't. I don't know. I read these in middle school too. My expectations weren't as high in middle school because I hadn't read as much, but I still just wasn't a fan. I remember I really liked the characters and their dynamics, but I just did not like the story or the plot, and I don't know. I felt like it was just kind of stupid, I guess. I didn't have a fun time reading it. So this is just a series that I have not finished, that I don't... My Clary poster fell down. That I don't plan on finishing. I'm actually probably going to end up unhauling it and giving it away, which might be another video coming soon because I have no room on either of my bookshelves, so I plan on giving a lot of books away. If this is like one of your favorite series, I'm sorry. I know so many people really like it. I'm not out to just directly offend you. It's just my opinion. The next series I have the first book and then the 3rd book. I was actually given the 3rd book as a gift but it sounded so interesting that I went and bought the first book. And that is, does it have an actual name? The Shades of London series by Maureen Johnson. Again, I was given the third book as a gift, and I thought the premise just sounded so interesting that I went back and read The Name of the Star. And it was, I think I gave this like 3 out of 5 stars. I would have really enjoyed it when I was younger, when I hadn't read as much, but now it was just kinda I read this in July, I believe, and I kind of had to push myself through it. I don't really know if I'm gonna read the rest of the series. I don't think so. I am kind of curious as to how it ends, I guess, but actually thinking about sitting down and reading it, I don't really want to. It's just not for me. I mean, the plot, the premise is really cool. It's like, I don't want to spoil it because I don't really remember. Our main character goes to London. Someone is mimicking the Jack the Ripper murders, and our main character has an in as to who it is and knows and has this whatever. It was a cool premise, but it just wasn't really for me. Writing style, characters, what have you. But, so that's that. Maybe I'll finish it. I don't know. That also means I have to buy the second book. So who knows if that's gonna happen. The next series, I actually lost the first book. I have no idea where it is, which sucks because it's actually really pretty and they look really good together. And that is Rogue by Julie Kagawa. These books follow people who can turn into dragons, and it's like a secret, and they're actually like undercover people. They're technically just dragons. I don't know. It was something weird. I read it a long time ago. And I bought Rogue, but it was just one of those things where it had been so long since I read the first book that I didn't remember anything, so I just never finished it. I want to read this though because I did have a good time reading what's it called? I had a really good time reading Talon. It was just an easy, fast, enjoyable read. And I want to read Rogue to have the same feelings and to know what happens. But I don't really know if I will because, again, this is another recurring theme in this video. I read it such a long time ago that my reading tastes have just changed, and I don't know if I'll enjoy it now as much as I did then, but I'll try it. I'll still try it. There's more books in this series out now, I believe. There has to be. Next is a series I really want to catch up on because I loved the first book. The second book is out, but I just haven't bought it yet, but I really want to because I loved the first book. And that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And the second book is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. This book is amazing. I will rave about it forever. I really loved it. I had so much fun reading it. But I feel like it took a while for A Torch Against the Night to come out, maybe, because I feel like it's been a while. I bought this like right when it came out, but I feel like A Torch Against the Night just came out, so I don't know. That's just the same thing. It's been so long since I read this that I don't remember anything, and it's a high fantasy, so there's a lot to remember, so it's just pretty crazy. I do 100% plan on reading A Torch Against the Night, but I know I'll probably have to reread this first, which I'm not too upset about because I really liked this book. It was a lot of fun. But I mean, I'm still gonna add it because it's still a series that I've yet to finish that I need to, or catch up on, what have you. I do recommend this though if you're looking for an awesome, diverse, high fantasy. This is the one. Is this my last series I'm talking about? Ooh, it's so heavy. The Starbound Trilogy by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I want to say without looking. Amy Kaufman also co-wrote the Illuminae series, which is amazing. It's really good. I feel like an MVP because I read this before she wrote Illuminae, which like blew up. I really loved these books back in the day. I read these two when they came out, and I really enjoyed them. They were really well written, and they were very interesting, and at the time, very unlike anything I had ever read. Can we talk about these covers? I'm still obsessed with these covers. These covers, they're so nice. I don't even remember what these are about, to be honest. I read these so long ago, but I bought the third book right when it came out because I still intended on reading it, but it's been such a long time. I really want to read this though because I just want to finish this and I want to see how it ends, and I don't even remember what it's about. I do remember I liked the second book more than the first book, even though I did still really like the first book. I have to finish this. I do want to finish it this year because it's just sitting on my shelf and they're so pretty, and I want to be able to say that I finished them. I think that's all. I'm just like looking at my bookshelf to make sure. I didn't count this series that I oh, actually I did. Well, that should count Lux too. Since I counted The Warrior Heir, even though I had only just started the book, I'll count this too to be consistent. Lux by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I started the first book. I don't even remember what the books are called. Oh, Obsidian. I guess I started Obsidian. Started it. I didn't finish it. It's just, I don't know, but everyone loves it, so I'm gonna try to finish it this year. I think it's gonna be a book slump book, so when I'm in a book slump, I'm gonna try to read it. It's like a very holographic cover though, my goodness. So those are all the current series on my bookshelf that I have to finish, that I've started, have yet to finish, because I am a horrible person. really, this is just one of my New Year's resolutions. It's been bothering me for a while, just having piles upon piles of series stacking up that I have yet to finish, and they're just sitting there unread on my shelves. So I'm making this so people can hold me accountable for it. So when I start a new series, people can be like, hey, what's the last series you finished though? There's still a bunch of series on my shelves that I'm caught up with, that I am just ready for the next book, and I get it right when it comes out and I read it right away. That does happen. It's not all like this, I promise. So thank you so much for watching. I don't know what else to say. My bed is an absolute mess, and I'll see you next time. Bye! In case you're wondering what the aftermath looked like, this is it. My cat has run away. She's hiding over there now because she's learned her lesson about laying under books.